Okay, Team Oasis, I've taken over my kids' playroom for just a couple of minutes to give you some tips on staying organized and show you what I use to keep track of who I need to talk to next and who I need to follow up with, because we all know the fortune is in the follow-up. So I have a system that helps me remember who I need to talk to, what I need to talk to them about, and kind of how to stay organized and remember what that last conversation we had was. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how I do that. First of all, I have this neat little envelope filing system, and when you open it up and look inside, it's got lots of tabs, and I have the orange tabs numbered 1 through 31 that correspond with the days of the month. So each day there's people I need to follow up with, and so I use my 30 minutes that I have to follow up with those people, and they have a card in my system. And I'm going to show you my sample card that's right here. So it looks like this, and I have a color system. The color, if it's not got any color on it, it just means they're a prospect. They're somebody I've been talking to. Then if they've ordered products, they're blue. And if they, I can't remember my colors, if they're a business builder, they're pink. And if they're an advisor, they're yellow. And if they're just a retail customer of ours, they are orange. And where it says card and sample, that's where I put the name, and then the date and what kind of conversation we had, and whether it was text, phone, Facebook, in person, whatever. And so I call this my Tickler file. So for instance, today I had 7 or 8 cards in today's pile, and you can see there's some color variations and some stuff going on. And some of these are people that I'm working with personally, and some of them are people that Britt's working with personally. So sometimes I remind him who his cards are and where he is in his process, and sometimes he reminds me. So what I would do is I contact each of these people for the day, and I look at where we were last, what we talked about, what was going on, and, you know, lead in with that, remind them, hey, if it's somebody that just orders every once in a while, I feel like it's time they need to order, I say, hey, I noticed you haven't ordered in a few days. How did that grape spark treat you last time? Would you like some more? Would you like to try another flavor? You know, whatever that is. I've got somebody that has been trying to catch me at work to get a sample, and she keeps forgetting to come by, so I remind her what my work hours are, you know, just whatever it is that's in that person's future for you, for getting them to know more about AdvoCare. So then the system is, what do you do after you've made that contact? I keep them in the same day until I hear back from them. And then tomorrow I'll go back and look at the first and say, oh, this person never contacted me back. Let me think. Why would they have not have? Maybe they don't want to hear about AdvoCare, or maybe they usually follow up pretty quickly or respond pretty quickly, but I haven't heard back. So then I decide how far back in the system I'm going to move them. So let's say I'm going to move them to tomorrow because they probably just forgot. So I put them in the 2nd. Let's say I'm going to move them to next week because I don't want to bug them. Okay, I'm going to move them to the 8th. And then, oh gosh, these are people that never really respond. I don't want to make them angry with me. I don't want them to think I'm a pest. So I'm going to move them all the way to next month. So I'd leave it in the 1st thinking, okay, I'll contact that person on November 1st. And then I have an area in the very back of the file where it's cold contacts, people that I'm letting sit for a while. I've got a lady in there that's super interested, but one of her children just got diagnosed with a pretty serious disease, and they've got a lot going on. They're also moving into a new home before the end of the month. And so I'm like, you know what? I don't want to bug her. I don't want to be a burden. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait 6 or 8 weeks on her. So she's in my back file. So that's just kind of a quick overview of a way to keep you organized. It reminds me to every day, be intentional, talk to someone. And then every time I have a new person, I love opening my little package of blank cards and making a card for that person, because I know that I can change their future. So take what you can from this and come up with your own system that works for you, but be a champion. Fortune's in the follow-up.